I'm going to be doing an episode a little bit different than normal. What we're going to be doing today is kind of a little Photoshop tutorial because, well, I'm not good at Photoshop, but like I know how to do things that a lot of people don't. So I'm here to educate you. So this is an eye, and what we're going to be doing first is I'm going to show you how to change the color of the eye, and then I'm going to use a similar technique to show you how to change the color of this car. So let's start with the eye. What you're going to need is you're going to need a new layer. Then you should pull out. Then we need to make a selection around the eye itself, the part that you want to change the color. So we're going to get the elliptical lasso, I think. And then we're going to create a shape. And if it's not exactly perfect like it is right now, press space and you can move it as you're creating it to, help you out. Like, I'm not good at this, but that we're going to make it a little bit, not completely around the eye, a little bit inward. So once you have a rough shape, you're going to want to get a curves layer. Now, to start off, this is just going to show us what our selection is. So it'd be easier to, move around. So we don't need this lasso anymore. So you can just get rid of that since we already have the mask. So what you're going to want to do right now is press Control T. And what this is going to let you do is let you fix it around the edges. So remember, not all the way around, but just a little bit smaller than the actual eye. And if you have an issue here, like I do, where the selection is taking off a portion of the eyelid, what you're going to want to do is apply the transformation and then load up your curves layer, go to your mask, go to your layer mask section, and then you're going to want to paint black over the area, basically. You're going to want to paint black. Okay, yeah. You're going to want to paint black on the area that you don't want to be affected, which, for example, would be the eyelid. So, next, at a blur filter, and we're just going to blur this edge so it really blends in with the rest of the eye. And now, we want this lighter now, so it'd be easier to change the color. So, Let me zoom out so I can kind of see this. So if that's what it is originally. Remember, this is going to be different with every eye. So just kind of adjust it to your liking. I think that's good. But what I do want to do is maybe lower this down, because this already is like a bright eye. It's not like a brown eye. And if you do have a brown eye, just brighten it more so it'd be easier to change the color. So now that we have this a little bit brighter than it used to be, because this is a light eye, we're going to get a hue saturation adjustment layer. And you can move this around to whatever color you want. But so pick a color that you want the eye. I like this purplish color. But as you can see, it's affecting the entire eye. So what you want to do, you want to take the layer mask you had before and drag it up to the hue saturation layer. Yes. And then as we're doing this, you might as well make a group using Control G. And if you drag this layer mask to the group, it'll affect everything below it. So now all of this is getting affected. But what I do need to remember is that this curves layer, the curves layer is not being affected. So let me duplicate this and then drag this layer mask up to the group. Then get rid of the second curves layer. Delete. Yes. So now we have this. We have the regular eye and a purple-ish eye. And as you can see, the eye has quite an amount of gray in it. So what you're going to want to do next is go to your curves layer, and you have red, green, and blue, and you're going to just want to adjust that around. So see, if I bring this down, it becomes more of a pinkish reddish color. But if I bring it up, it becomes, well, more like a cyan. But I really want to fill in those dark areas, but I don't think blue is the way to go. Let's try red. If we bring it up, it kind of just makes it more of a pink. If we bring it down, it makes it more of a green. So maybe a little bit up would be good. Oh, if we bring both the red up, filling in the gray a little bit, and the blue up, filling in like the rest of the gray, and make them match, we can create a similar gray pattern. Like a bluish purple color, but not much blue. Maybe more red to really get those areas filled in. Now that we have that, let's go to green. Green, see what we can do here. Now that's what we were looking for. So maybe a little, it seems that darker is really filling in those grays. So why don't we bring it down like here where it's a bluish purple color. And what we can do is have this here, get another curves layer, because these eyes aren't the same color. And we're going to see if we can make this area around the pupil pinkish, like lighter. So how we would go about doing that is getting another curves layer, going to maybe red, because red makes it more pinkish. Wait, give me a second. And we're going to grab that. Not a good idea. We're going to grab a red and make it more pink. And as you can see again, that's affecting, well, the rest of the eye, which is not what we want. So actually, let me reorder these so the group is affecting all of them. So now the group is affecting all of them. And whoa, is that pink. So let's reduce this red like a lot. Bring it like pink. And then what happens if we disable this? If we disable it, what happened there? Okay, let's open up our hue saturation adjustment layer again. So let's saturate it more. It is a bright purple. But what is happening here? Okay, let's go backwards. To go backwards is Control-Alt-Z. We're going to go back to where we had this color. And now we have the second curves layer. We're going to want to make it... No, that's not what I want. We're going to go to red. Red. And make it a little bit more pink. And that is not getting affected. That is... Oh, yeah, because the visibility is on. We're going to make it a little bit more pink. That doesn't seem to be making it more pink. What we could also do is get one of these. You know, instead of doing this curves layer, what we could do to solve this is delete this curves layer, for starters. We have our purple color. Maybe get another hue saturation adjustment layer. And make that more of a pinkish tint. See where we can find that. There, that's good. So we're going to want to give that a good layer mask. Actually, we're going to do what we did before. And we're going to duplicate this layer. Yes. Then drag one of the layer masks to the hue saturation layer. And then get rid of the useless curves adjustment layer. So now we have this pinkish, cool color. But remember, we want the outside to be more purple. Okay, what is this doing? Okay, we want the outside to be a bit more purple. So what we could do is if we turn this off, it becomes a bluish purple. So let's get this layer mask and adjust it. What we can do is paint black around the areas that we, don't want affected. And then they'll become the more purplish colors. Then we can have that pink really focused on the middle there. So now we have our purplish eye with a, pinkish like cornea, which is really nice and it looks quite realistic if people had purple eyes. So what would be really cool is if we made this black and white and have the purple eye. So what we can do is get a hue saturation adjustment layer again and just completely desaturate the photo. Bring it here. Bring it there. Okay, maybe bring it above the group. It seems like we can't do that. Just bring it all the way back down to this layer. And okay, let's see what we did there. Let's go back to where we had our nice color. Okay, so now we have our nice color. Now, like I said, we add that, and desaturating it is desaturating the entire image. So, again, we're going to want to duplicate one of these layers. Let's duplicate this curves layer. Let's duplicate this curves layer like that. Drag the layer mask up here. Yes. And then delete this curves layer. Yes. And now we have this curve. Now we have this here. But if we desaturate like before, it completely desaturates. It desaturates only the eye, basically. So what we're going to do is invert the layer mask using Control I. Now that inverted the layer mask, as you can see there. And then we just bring down the saturation. And there you go. You have your black and white eye with your pink cornea looking thing. Now, we're going to use the basic principles to make this. A car is a lot easier than an eye because an eye is multicolored and like a lot harder. So, what we can do is maybe go straight for the hue saturation adjustment layer. And we're going to pick our reds because this is basically the only red in this image. And changing it would basically change the color of the car, quite simply. Now, let's say we want a, let's keep going with what we have, a purple car. But as you can see, it's affected this little thing back here. So we're gonna paint black over that portion of the layer mask. So now let's try it again. And basically, that's it. You basically, I keep saying basically, you just change the color of a Maserati very simply by just having a hue saturation. But this won't work if there are like a lot of different reds or a lot of different of the same color. That'll be a lot harder. So at that point, you would have to do other steps. But in this situation, just make that hue saturation adjustment layer. So that was my little tutorial. This is what we originally had. And after all of our work, we got to this. Quite a beautiful photo. And here, a lot simpler. Before, after. Pink to purple. Simple. Okay, so that's this new video. I don't know if you guys are going to like it. Let me know. And by the way, I know I haven't posted. I didn't post it all during the school year because I did want to focus on school, even though I did. Let's not talk about that. It's the summer. So now I'm going to be making more videos since it is the summer. And let me know if you guys like this type of video or want me to go back to gaming. Okay. Bye.